Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
Yeah, we back, y'all.
They back.
y'all. We back, y'all.
Each and every week, though. So I guess we're always back. As long as we got each other's back. There you go. There you go.
I'm starting this. I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
I'm starting this weekend off right.
We getting it in.
Sexy saucy. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yes, y'all.
What are we gonna talk about, though?
Oh, we got plenty to talk about today.
I always got something to talk about.
We
may not be talking about much, but I got a lot to
today.
talk about.
We got a whole lot for y'all out there today. It's gonna be a good topic today. I'm in a good mood today.
I am too.
I don't know what it is, even though the sun's starting to peek out a little bit.
Right,
so
right.
Y'all get to catch us in a good one today. Yeah.
At least I'm gonna pretend like it.
He put me through my paces this morning, so now that I'm...
Why I gotta put you through your patience?
Dude, you just test me. That's what the F you do sometimes.
I do.
That's cool though. You push my limits.
You push mine.
That's what you're supposed to do.
This is exactly what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, a little drip. A little microphone drip.
That's what we're supposed to do. Push each other, man.
Yeah.
That's how you get great. That's how you get better.
You know, I think about that.
You tried to ruin my life this morning, but it's okay. I'm still here with y'all.
I think about that.
See that eye twitching? That eye twitches because that ass was twitching earlier. It was like that.
Yes, sir. That's how we do.
Oh man, welcome. It's Saturday.
I know, it got me hella hot in this house.
We've been putting in work today, man.
Yeah.
The setup is now finally good.
Coming together.
We're just
feeling good.
We're growing,
right? Yeah,
we're growing.
Yeah,
we're growing. They're gonna see that we're growing.
But I think the most important part is we're enjoying growing versus we gotta grow. It's like no, I'm enjoying. We gotta go.
Enjoying the process.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoying the process,
exactly.
And if we grow in the process, great. If not, we're still enjoying it. So that's growth in itself.
Right.
Did I just say that?
You said it out loud too.
I'm like, pause for a minute. Did I just say that?
Somebody that will nip it in the bud quick. Okay, that's done.
So, y'all might wonder why Coach is not looking studious today. He took his glasses off.
Because of that glare.
The ring light glare made him look like he had funky irises. But it's all right. We make irises. Yeah, I got technical with y'all.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Boy.
That's just how we roll.
The funny thing is, people will say pupils.
Right.
Like that's not the color of your eyes.
Your pupils black.
So tell me, man.
I bet they wondered, are they ever gonna get to the topic?
I know. We haven't even got to the drink.
Patience, y'all.
Tell me.
We're gonna get there. We're enjoying the moment. If y'all aren't enjoying it, not my problem.
I'm just saying.
Right?
But in the words of the wonderful, is that Shaka Khan? Mm-hmm. Tell me something good. What's going on?
Man.
What's up this week?
As you know, busy week. Couldn't work out this week. Dealing with characters. And I think this is one of the good reasons why we're having the topic we're having today. Man, I say it all the time, man, please just do your damn job. Oof. But it's, aside from that, life is just getting busier and busier. I was talking to my assistant this week, and I was like, yeah, I keep piling stuff on. She's like, when are you not piling stuff on?
Right.
She's like, you always take on a new project or a new foundation thing, or you want to help somebody do something at some point in time, and so she's like, I'll be glad when you're gone. She's like, 'cause when you're on vacation, she's like, when you're on vacation, then I can actually
That
breathe.
was funny. She said, I'll be glad when you're gone. And she works from home now.
But
the fact that she knows that she'll be glad when you're gone, but she knows she's going to get certain assignments while you're gone.
No, she gets to take care of stuff while I'm gone.
Oh,
because while
okay.
I'm here,
Okay. Okay, I got it.
it's
I got
daily
it.
stuff I throw at her,
I got it.
and the three of them, and just bringing on a fourth starting September 1.
I know.
So that's people. I was like, why you got so many assistants? Because I'm busy.
Right. I mean, think about it. We're going to record several episodes before you go out of town.
Yeah.
Several.
It's just, this is what we do. And then Gino and I, my brother, we're going to start the second podcast.
Oh, I know.
That's mine podcast.
Oh, you decided on a date?
Yeah, we're going to start recording probably in the next week or two. before we
Okay.
get out of here.
Okay.
We gotta, I gotta get him used to being on the mic.
Yeah.
So that's just,
Yeah.
I'm a little more free with it, but we'll see. We'll loosen his ass up.
I'm looking forward to it. I might come over and watch.
What we need to do is bring on a third mic and let him get used to being on the mic with the two of us, loosen him up a bit, and then
Yeah.
have that. But this is, he can talk about what he knows, which is
Right.
medicine. We can do that.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah,
That's a layup for him.
I think we'll be good. How was your week, man?
My week was good.
Enough about me. Tell me about me.
Well, my week was good. I was very, very productive. Considering I just got back from my wife's family reunion, which was quite interesting, quite entertaining.
Isn't it always though?
Oh, family
reunions are always.
It's a family reunion.
Family reunions are always a little special.
It's always a little different, always a little special. You find the ones that you bond with. You find the ones you go, oh, okay, that's you.
Right?
Because it's not, they're my family, but they're not my family. So it's kind of like that.
Just because they're family, you don't have to like them.
Yeah. But she has, who's technically not the oldest, but he's kind of like the family matriarch. Patriarch. But he's amazing. He's funny. He's quick-witted. He's going through his own health things right now because he's like 70, 71. But this dude, he's constantly moving.
Right.
Been on the post office, bought a ton of real estate. He's like, yeah, let me show you your properties. He'll go and he'll take you by. He know Philly.
Right.
Philly's like tight.
Yeah.
Like you buying properties, you lucky because it's tight. Everything's close together, tight.
I mean, you think about that's most cities except LA.
Yeah.
LA's so spread out.
Yeah. But in certain areas, super tight.
Yeah.
But he took us down this one street. I can't remember the name of it, but bruh, like, has to be hands down one of the worst areas for drug infestation I've ever seen in my entire life. Like you hear the stories or whatever.
Right.
You see the homeless people, you see the people with drugs or whatever. They're going to the methadone clinics and this and that. No, I literally saw people shooting up on the street.
Man.
You see a guy washing his car, which is a pimp.
Oh,
Then of course you see a couple of the pimps, you see the raggedy teeth prostitutes, and you see all these things, all these dynamics going on at one time, and you're like,
oh shit.
Oh my God. And then of course the people with the lorratic, the spine's just completely curved over.
But here's what's interesting. That's real life.
Yeah.
That's like people's reality.
Yeah, that's why he wanted us to see that.
Right.
I was just like, I don't mind because I'm like, wow, this is real world right here.
And you think when you live in a bubble that, okay, that's not affecting me, but it affects you.
It in some capacity is going to affect you.
It has to.
And
how could it not?
You have to fight for it to not infect you, though.
Yeah, right.
That's real talk.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
whether it's literally or figuratively.
Yeah.
I
mean, true. And people think if I don't see it, then it doesn't exist.
Man.
Walk down the block from my house and you see it.
Oh.
And this is not the shittiest neighborhood in America.
Not even walking, because I work with several people in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. You don't have to walk down the block. You can just
look
sit outside.
outside.
I've seen it several times. You're like, wow, okay, this is what's going on.
Right?
This is what's going on.
And it's like I said, people think, oh, I'm going to take you to a shitty neighborhood and show you stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take you outside and open my window and just show you some stuff.
Right.
Because it's now a problem everywhere.
Right.
People used to think that LA is one of the safest, Beverly Hills is safe. You heard about the dude that just got shot outside of that steakhouse in Beverly Hills?
No.
Candy. New threat. You know that steakhouse on the next block from Mastro's?
Okay.
Yeah. It was on the news the other night.
I've been avoiding the news.
Dude, somebody shot 4 times. The dude didn't get shot from the people in the restaurant heard 4 shots, stepped outside, and on the sidewalk there, the dude was holding his back like,
Are you
just sitting there like this. Cops are there, and they saw the whole video. You don't see the video of the shooting, but you see him holding his back, sitting there like leaning on the ground, just chilling like this, whatever. And ambulance people are walking by, and people are just filming. They're like, "This is Beverly Hills."
Yeah.
But think about it. How many times have you heard about a shooting on Cannon? You know, down the street.
Right.
You know, between Little Santa Monica and Wilshire.
Yeah.
That stretch.
Yeah.
It's like, this is where people are coming to get jacked.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's not nearly as bad as it was, say, a year ago, when people were masked up just jacking people, because now people aren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
Look, they're aware.
You're back to being a suspect now.
Right. You're aware when somebody rolls upon you with a mask on. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay attention now. And people are no longer walking around with their jewelry on. They're no longer wearing watches.
Oh,
They're just
not carrying their handbags. No. They're going super light.
Absolutely, it's crazy.
They're going to buy stuff from Rick Steves. Is it Rick Steves, the guy that does a travel on PBS? He does
I don't watch PBS. I have no idea. Yeah, y'all. Sorry.
He's so special. There's some good content on there, boy. You better learn.
They might put us on PBS. I think our language, nah.
No. We can always tone it up.
No.
Not.
Yeah. Y'all know we ain't changing.
We are about reality and giving you reality and edutaining. And edutaining is who we are, and we're gonna educate from our way.
We're gonna continue with it
because that's the way it goes. Don't you get it twisted,
right? Right?
You know, like you got a mouthful of rocks,
mouthful of marbles. Sound like you got marbles in your throat. Well, dude, let's get to the meat of the topic today, and then we'll talk about what we're sipping on.
Yeah, because I think the topic will help you understand why we're going to be sipping on it.
You know, so we decided to talk today, and Coach and I were talking last week, and we're like, dude, earlier this week, and it was not even last week, earlier this week, we're like, this is just, what's wrong with people? Why can't people just do their job?
Yeah.
And we said, you know what? Let's get into the weeds about work ethic. And what do most people, when you've had a hard day at work and you're just like, you know what, I just need, end of the day, what you want, just a nice ice cold brew.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's for those that work.
So, right? So our sip of the day, we got a nice cold beer. Don't mind the little lemon wedge, the little orange wedge in there. That's how we rock with the pale ale. My man, cheers, and let's get into that work ethic today.
Let's work on that.
Oh yeah, refreshing. And so let's start with the shit that bugs me. Let's peel this shit back.
Peel it back, bro.
Let's just peel it back. And one statement that I always make, and you guys out there will understand this, and I say this all the time to people I work with, and I'm like, think about how amazing the world would be if everybody just did their job. You don't have to even do the extra. Just look at your job description. Do that. If everybody just did that, we would all be in a much better place.
And like you said, their job description.
Yes.
You're not asked to do anything outside of that realm.
Nothing else, nothing extra. I don't want you to do anything extra. If your job is to answer the phone and say hello and take a message, do that. Just do that. But some people won't even do that. And you're like, why are you making this so much more difficult than it has to be?
Kind of like today. You got that telephone call.
Yeah. I'm like, so.
Nursing 101.
Yeah. Patient's going home. They call me up and it's like, there's a little bit of oozing from the bandage. What do you want me to do? You're a nurse. Change the bandage. That's 101, especially when it says change the bandage as needed on the orders.
You know, I had to laugh out loud.
Just do your job.
Yeah.
That's what I don't. I appreciate you calling me. Do you still want to send him home? Yes.
Right.
Go home.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like, it's very simple. For example, when you go, say, to the bank.
Okay.
And you got a bank teller. And most of us do online banking now. Nobody wants to deal with it. But your job, I give you a deposit slip.
Mm-hmm.
You take the deposit slip with all the checks, put it in. I don't need you to start asking me a bunch of questions. Just do that. Get me in, get me out. But you get so many people that can't do it, and they want to ask you things that have nothing to do with what your job's supposed to be doing. I don't care about all the extra. Just do that for me. Just make that. You can see how this bugs this shit.
Because I know you so well, it's the level of agitation. Because even when I brought up the topic, you said your voice started climbing.
Oh man!
On the phone as we were having this conversation, you was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh boy, yeah. All right, bro, let's address it."
I mean, and think about this.
Yeah,
we can talk about government. Our government doesn't function great because people won't do their job.
Yeah.
You know, if you're elected to make decisions and legislate, then damn it, legislate. Make laws, pass some shit, get shit done. But no, you don't go and you don't accomplish anything because you can't, I shouldn't say you can't, you won't do your job because there's no benefit for you to do your job. It's more beneficial for you to talk about your job than to actually to do it. Because once it's done and you have nothing left to do, there's no reason for you to be sitting around in Congress or sitting around, you know, it's so fucking frustrating, excuse my language. You know, like I talk about, for example, let's talk about the hospital.
Okay.
And have you ever been, or any big organization where you're supposed to make decisions, and so then they form a committee, and this committee is supposed to sit down and make decisions. That committee ends up being a committee to form another committee to decide on what the committee should vote on to take back to the original committee to vote on to finally make a law or to finally make something go down. And so most of these people who are administrators, their whole life revolves around taking meetings with committees, but never accomplishing anything. And it's like, what is your job? Number one, define what your job is, and then do it.
Maybe that's the problem. I like a definition. They're defined by the title. They're not defined by what they do with the title.
Right. Like, look at our relationship. As, let's just start with coach, trainer, client.
Right.
Your job is to focus on me during that time period.
That's it.
My job is to be receptive to what you're trying to teach me.
Right.
If neither one of us are doing our job, neither one of us gets results.
Right.
You don't get results because you don't have a happy client, and I'm not a happy client because I don't pay attention to you. And so my job is to simply do that.
Right.
Is to do what you tell me. Now, if I'm working out with you and you're on your phone over here and then you're not doing your job.
Right.
And I can't expect results if you're not doing your job. And it's so easy to you to say, you know what, just do your job.
Right.
Put your phone down, focus here, do your job.
Right.
You know, and it's just, I can go on and on about different aspects of how people just, they don't understand work and like work ethic.
And a lot of times, I don't even know if it's necessarily work. There's just small processes within what would be their job. Their work ethic was internal, is what the real lackluster problem is. It's this take society that we live in. They figure, I got a job, I'm gonna get paid for that. But they don't show up to deliver the deliverables.
Or it's, I'm here for 8 hours. I'm gonna try to do the least amount possible to get me through this 8-hour day.
Sad part about that is they calculate that 8 hours. They're immediately, okay, I have 8 hours. I have blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is what I have to do. All right, how do we get through these 8 hours? And they're closing their eyes and they're trying to imagine, as opposed to imagining how much they can get done before the 8 hours is up. Or be done before the 8 hours so that way they can have their free time and do whatever the hell they want to at the job.
And when somebody like me, say for example at work, when I'm doing surgery, people are there for 8-hour day or a 12-hour day. I'm trying to get as many surgeries as I can get done in that time period. Mm-hmm. So that means do the surgery, in between, clean the rooms, get the patient ready, let's do the next one.
Yeah.
Whether I do 1 surgery or 5 surgeries, they're still there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So there's no incentive for them to have me do 5 surgeries. If I'm doing 5 surgeries, they're working harder. If I'm doing 1 surgery, they're kind of chilling. And so there's no incentive to get things done. And I think that therein lies the problem. You know, I talk about that too with like the people who used to do my billing and collections. And this is something funny. So there was somebody who used to do billing for me, and they make a percentage of the money they collect for me from my patients, right?
Simple enough.
Yeah, you chase the money down, you get X percent.
Yeah.
So one day I went and was like, all right, here's the deal. You've collected X amount of dollars, and this is sort of the average. If you collect X amount of dollars over that, I'll give you X percent more of that overage.
Okay.
I'm like, let's sign a new contract that says you get 5% of the first $1,000.
Okay.
Anything over $1,000, I'm gonna give you 7% of that.
Which is actually significant.
Yeah, not just 5%. I'm gonna give you a little extra.
So you're gonna dig in a little deeper, you would think.
No, you know what she came back with?
What?
Why don't we just keep it the same? Because she didn't want to do the extra work. How crazy! Who doesn't want to make more money? You're gonna collect it anyway. So if I tell you, if you collect more, you're gonna make more. You're gonna collect. You still have to collect that anyway. But she felt that, oh, that might be more work, so now I'm good. I was like,
but you know what?
I couldn't understand that thought process.
But that's also your thought process. For her, it was like, I like being exactly where I am. So that her work ethic only goes to a certain level, which is, you know, that's fair. But at the same time, you're trying to increase someone's value. You're trying to help her help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I get more of, but that is what she takes.
And I remember,
it's kind of sad, but at the same time, that's her journey.
I remember years ago, my brother had an assistant who was just, she wasn't good. You know, it was just, she's working, she's answering phones and stuff. She wasn't good. Y'all, check this out. It blew my mind because
Okay.
you don't realize how bad somebody is until they're gone. So he
definitely.
finally let her go. And then after she left, we were looking around her desk. All the mail that would come in to the office, she would put them in her file cabinet or put them in a box under her desk and never open them. So there were checks in there. There were
Oh my God.
like stuff that was timestamped, dated, you know, needed to be processed right away. Like stacks of mail that's just unopened.
That's sad.
Because she didn't want to open the mail because she felt she was too busy. So she just kept stacking them away and not checking the mail. How crazy is that?
And all it takes is a couple minutes.
And I think I can't really wrap my head around people's inability to work. I've been working in some sort of a job doing something since the age of 9. You know, picking fruit in an orange grove. I mean, I've had a million jobs. Until I can think of 2 times in my entire life where I actually didn't go to work because I was sick. And the 2 times, both times I was hospitalized.
Right.
I've never had a headache or called out sick because I had the sniffles or whatever the hell it was. You know, oh, I got a cold, I'm gonna stay home. I didn't have that luxury, you know. And I was twice in my life I was admitted to the hospital, and those were the first time I was admitted to the hospital, I was walking around seeing patients with an IV in my arm and then going back to my hospital room. So I really technically was still working.
Wow.
You know, and yeah, I'm not saying everybody has to be that insane, but at the end of the day,
which it is,
it's crazy, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like, why is there always a need to figure out a way to not work? Like, think about how hard it is right now.
Yeah.
I was telling my brothers the other day, me and my brother run several businesses, and finding people who actually want to come to work.
Yeah.
All my friends who own businesses, it's almost impossible right now. And you would think, okay, during COVID, people would get these COVID bonuses, and you know, unemployment.
Still in COVID bonuses.
Right. Unemployment was actually giving these little extra bonuses, but now that's done. The COVID money's gone. Nobody's making extra money.
They're not even showing up.
And you still can't find people who want to have a job. And I'm like, how are you living? I'm looking at you. How are you living and being able to provide for yourself and you don't work? I don't understand that shit. What is the issue with not working?
I can't even look you in the eye.
Right. What is the issue with you not working?
I don't even know what to say with that.
I mean,
it's at an all-time high.
She gets me worked up.
Yeah. I mean,
is that something that you can teach? Is it generational? I mean, think about it. Is our work ethic as middle-aged? Damn, we're middle-aged. Shit, I'm not middle-aged. You are. And I'm older than him. Ain't that some shit? No, but at our age, we're different than our parents.
yes.
Then you look at the next generation, which would be my niece. She's 25 this year. And then you look at my nephews who are 13, and geez, this dude just turned 14. Mm-hmm. And you look at sort of their work ethic with sports is phenomenal.
Because they love it.
You know, you look at their school, they're not lacking in schoolwork. They're getting A's, you know, without anybody having to push them. I think you mimic what you see. That's my thinking.
It's environment.
So my nephews and my niece sees us hustling, sees me and my brother. Just we're doing whatever it takes to stay busy and just keep it moving. So I think that's why they kind of do the same. They see, you know, their mom and their dad working, living, doing stuff, always on the go, always on the move, but still having time for them. And they're like, maybe this is how life is. Do you think developing a good work ethic, work habits starts as a child, or does it start when you actually start working?
I think it starts as a child, because I think that children are a reflection of what they're around. I think children absorb what they're around. If they, because I know for myself, and probably for yourself as well, there were repercussions when you didn't show a level of work ethic.
Right.
Whether it was grades or whether it was home, you received something that was a little bit negative.
Yes.
And I think for myself, and maybe for you, I know for you, because you have a high work ethic capacity, I didn't like the feeling that it gave me when that parent or that neighbor or that teacher or whomever was like, yeah, this wasn't good enough. What is going on? You didn't try. And you're like, what? And then you're like, no, I didn't try. So you will put forth better work ethic to make sure that doesn't happen again.
And so it's, I think about how not only you're wanting to work, but your desire to work with other people.
Right.
Because everything we do is a team sport. And I think good work ethic also involves, you know, looking out for your coworker.
Right.
You know, and people will, I see, you know, my squad, they work together very well, you know, and they've over the years have learned how, okay, I'm gonna pick up this one slack, but next time you got me, I'm gonna be out for the day, or I need to go pick up my daughter, or I need to go to the doctor. You just pick up the slack. There are people out there that are like, that's your job, figure it out. And to me, you could be doing everything right for your job description, but the unwritten rule is, let's just make this shit work. Right. And it doesn't.
To piggyback off of that, I think one of the biggest issues is that we put a time frame on something versus the efficiency of becoming better at something. I think a lot of times we say, I have to do X, Y, and Z between, it's like me with training. If I train someone and I say it's an hour session, I don't really keep track of the hour. I'm keeping track of how focused I am on you getting the results or moving better or something in that capacity and becoming more efficient at that.
And you have a time frame, so you can plan your day, and the client can plan their day. Look,
it's
a time frame, but give or take.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like, time's up.
Yeah,
gotta go. If you're in the middle of a set, time's up, gotta go. Drop the kettlebell.
No.
You know what I mean? Right. It's because that's just not how it works.
No.
And
you work on becoming more efficient and productive in that efficiency versus I got to get this done in this time frame. Because then, if you're looking at the end of that time, because you're only going to be focused on the end of that time, you're missing everything in between that time that you should be doing better, or getting better, or having more productivity out of that time.
Yeah, that's like me telling patients, look, you have your scheduled appointment is 8 a.m.
Right.
You're a new patient, I allot 30 minutes.
Okay.
Sometimes that new patient visit may take 15 minutes because there's nothing really wrong, or sometimes I got to talk to you about surgery and it takes an hour.
Right.
But I'm not, after 30 minutes, being like, all right, come back next week and we'll revisit this.
Right.
And there are patients that get mad because I'm taking a little longer, with somebody else. But sorry, I'm going to give you the time that you're up, because you know what? This is how I work. This is what is important to me, and this is what is important to the patient. And we talk about, in medicine, in law, in a bunch of different fields, we talk about ethics in general. Mm-hmm. And in medicine, we have the same, we take our oath, at first do no harm. But I see so many surgeons who aren't outright doing harm, but they're not helping. They're helping, and the only person they're helping is themselves.
Right.
Because I see so many people that get surgeries they shouldn't have. It's how we talked about a few episodes ago about money. Right. Their whole focus becomes money, and I'm going to operate on everybody that comes in the door. And so, in actuality, it's legal, but you are harming the patient.
Yeah.
And it may not be negligence, or it may not be good, but ethically, you kind of shouldn't go there. It's you just it rubs you wrong, and we can get into a whole conversation on medical ethics or whatever, but I think the medical decision making ethics is very different from you just working ethics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shitty that there's more people out there who have terrible work habits than people who are just go-getters and will do anything to see the ship move in the right direction.
But I think what you said right there, go-getters will always make sure the right thing is done versus trying to take whatever you can to fill your pockets, fill your needs, fill your spirit. Well, really not even fill your spirit. You're almost like you're spiritless when you're just taking.
Yeah. And I saw a patient last week, and he said something to me and it had nothing to do with medicine. I walk in the room and he's just frustrated, and I'm like, what's going on? He's a teacher and he teaches 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, we're back at school, and I could tell as he's talking about it, he hates his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like being a teacher, which in today's society, and as crazy and shitty the education system can be, that's not the person you want teaching your kids, who hates being a teacher. So he made a statement to me about how one of his students walks in and he's on his computer, and the student walks in and just shuts it off and goes and sits down. 12-year-old playing a prank.
Yeah.
So He fusses at him, whatever. And then he's back giving a presentation, and the kid just reaches over and shuts his computer off again. And he just goes off on the kid. I'm like, okay, I feel you getting mad. That's well within your rights for what this kid is doing. I was like, but now you come to my office and you say, I'm so frustrated being a teacher, I hate it. This is school day number 3, whatever day this, because they just started on Monday, so this was Thursday, so school day number 4. And the best part of your day was leaving school early so you can come to a doctor's visit. And he's looking at me like, and I'm saying this to him, I'm like, number one, your back and neck are fine.
Okay.
You're okay. But you're stressed the hell out because you hate your job. And it is not this one kid that ruined your day. The fact that you had to start school today when you hate being a teacher, you're like, God, another year. I was like, I told him, I was like, I bet you can't wait to retire.
Yeah.
And I was like, you want to do some good in this world? He's like, yeah. He's like, I really do. I'm like, quit your job. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you don't enjoy teaching? Quit, because you're doing more harm than good.
Wow.
And he couldn't understand that. He got mad at me. And I'm like, think about what I said. I'm just giving you a little bit of food for thought, man. And that's what's stressing you out. And I flipped it so he wouldn't be too mad. That's why your neck and back hurts, because you're stressed out. The job isn't for you.
Oh,
blah, blah, blah,
the
whatever.
body will respond to where
Yes.
you are.
But I was really thinking more about the kids than him at the time, because he's doing them a disservice.
Because he's walking in with this energy. That energy is already riding with him as he's going in.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And he doesn't care. He says he cares because and the reason why he says he cares is because he's supposed to.
Yeah.
You're a teacher, I'm supposed to care. I've been doing this for 20 years. You hated it for probably 18 of those 20. But you continue to go because this is my duty, what I'm supposed to do, and they don't pay us enough, and blah, 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 blah. You're absolutely right. They don't pay you enough to do what you do. But you chose to do it. And these kids and these, they need you to be enthusiastic about wanting to teach them.
Yeah.
And so I think in medicine, in education, and in law, and in politics, those are the 4 places where work ethic is the most important and is probably the shittiest.
Yeah.
And you guys are out there going to be like, what the hell got into his beard today? It's frustrating because I'm just, and the words of our friend Jerry Housey, I'm just built different when it comes to that work ethic.
I know.
You are, and we know people in our world. Your wife is. We just know.
Definitely built different.
We just know that. Get it done.
Yeah, but also in thinking about him, and also thinking back to a few episodes ago when we talked about hustlers.
Yeah.
Hustlers, no matter where they are going to make it work. If you are having issues with these students or whatever it is, you're going to figure out a way to make this work best for you as well as for them.
Correct.
So everybody benefits, not just you, everyone.
Everybody wins.
And you're going to be able to take that secondary, whatever it is, so you can enjoy doing your job better, so you can make a little extra income, because you knew going into this job that you ain't getting paid.
Right. And if you're a teacher and your kids are just excelling, now, I'm happy.
Yeah.
My job is, but
that alone.
But they're not going to excel unless you are happy with your job. So it's that catch-22. You'll be happier when they are doing well, but they're not going to do well unless they feel a vibe from you that you give a shit.
Oh, 100.
I tell patients all the time when I see them, my first job is to educate you on what's wrong with you. My second job is to make you comfortable with me. My third job is then to treat you. And out of all of those things, me treating you is about 25% of you getting better. You believing you're going to get better, and you having faith in me and believing the education that I give you is what's going to make you 75% better. And then the rest, I'm going to coach the body into healing. Mm-hmm. I may use a scalpel. I may use a physical therapist. I may use a personal trainer. I'm going to use somebody or something, some tool at my disposal to kind of coach you into a better space. But the 75% of it is you believing that you're going to get there, and you believing in me. If I'm miserable in my job and I hate being a doctor, nobody's going to believe in me and nobody's going to trust that I'm going to make them better. Same thing with a teacher or like a lawyer. If you are an attorney and ethically you are just a money grab, there's going to be a problem, you know?
Yeah.
If your clients need to trust that you have their best interests at heart, your clients need to trust that you're going to go to work for them, battle for them, do everything you can, you're on their side, and you're going to be their gladiator against the gladiator of the other side, whether it's the government, the defense, the plaintiff, whatever it may be. You're going to be, I need to know that your work ethic is to do whatever it takes to get me whatever I need.
Right.
There's a lot of
It's all about results.
There's a lot of these workers' comp attorneys out there that I see will push patients to just settle, just get stuff done, and or the attorneys are supposed to help them get the care they need, right, from people like me. And I have patients like, I haven't talked to my attorney in months. I don't even know what he does. I'm like, he's waiting for your case to finish and settle because he's going to collect a bit. And yes, some of y'all out there who are work comp attorneys, most of you are great, but there's a handful out there that just, you know?
They get a little sticking to you.
Well, because they don't do their job. They don't do their job.
No,
if you're going to accept a
Compensation.
responsibility, if you're going to accept that responsibility, do the work.
Right.
If you're going to accept being a teacher, you said, you know what, I want this job with LA Unified, then do everything you can to do that job well. If you say, you know what, I'm going to be a spine surgeon, then you owe society, you owe the people that are around you, you owe the nursing staff, you owe everybody that consideration to be the best that you can be and do that job well. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't see any other way.
if you're going to be a life coach, if you're going to be a personal trainer, you owe it to yourself and to the people that you take care of, because you're taking care of people's well-being. You owe it to them to be the best at that job that you can be, because they're depending on you.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be mediocre.
And better, and even better, you owe it to yourself to take care of yourself so you can be a best to those people.
Exactly.
And that's work ethic in itself. You have to create your own level of work ethic for you to create value and work ethic for everything and everybody else.
I think people don't really know what it means to be ethical. If you
No.
ask people what the definition of ethics is, they'd be like, huh? Is that a class that I should have taken in community college? I didn't go to community college. Well, you don't need ethics to go to. You learn that from the womb going forward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer my own question. I think it comes from the minute you pop out of the womb and you start interacting with society around you, you start to mimic and learning ethical behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's different, and a lot of, depending on where you are, who you're interacting with, it's different based on your upbringing, your background, your religious preferences. Everything has ethical beliefs and a system in place that will guide you down the path of what's right.
Right.
You know, and if you can't do that shit or deal with it,
But it's like what you just said. Once you are engaged with society, that's you engaged. You're walking in between in the society that it creates around you. So,
Yeah.
and if that environment is not giving you what you need to start looking for an environment that's going to give you what you want.
and don't always look for an environment that's giving you what it is. Maybe you need to give to that environment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to be giving all you can in order to receive from it. And I think
Yeah.
people don't understand that at all.
Let's just be honest. We have a very lazy world that we live in. Most of the shit we complain
Yes.
about now, excuse my language as well, most of the shit we complain about is very first world problems. And we're so busy taking money and so busy not giving anything back to society.
No.
Not giving anything. Anything. You're not giving your heart, you're not even giving a piece of your mind back to the society.
Well, people want maximum input without maximum output. You know, people want maximum gain
Right.
with very little give. And if you don't put yourself out there, you're absolutely not going to accomplish shit. People always wait for people to give them stuff.
Yeah.
I want this to be handed to me. I want this to be given to me. Oh, COVID's out there. I want people to give me a PPP loan. I want people to give me, I can't go to work because of the virus. I want people to give me this. How about you say, you know what? I'm gonna start my own business, or I'm gonna work on something else. I'm gonna do something from home because I can't go to my job. Or there's, you know how they say when the cat's away, the mice will play. Oh, I'm at home working now, so I can be a little lax. One thing I will give my staff props on, dude, from working from home, they're better than they ever were.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it's just on it. They're just on it now, and I'm just like,
I was telling you that about my wife. Man.
Yeah.
She works at home, and she is on like up early, does an early morning walk, come home. I call her the operator, like in the movie Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like operator, man. She's looking for the little things, the little fine points. Like, oh, there's where some money is. Oh, there's where some money. I'm proud of her, and I'm also just that level of work ethic to be able to dig in. So her days are like this now.
Yeah, and that's the exception rather than the rule.
Yeah.
You know, which is the sad part. You know what I mean? Think about it. People should really be more like that.
Yeah.
And I said this at the beginning of the show.
About the lady.
Yeah, I said this at the beginning of the show. If people just did their job, we would be in a much better place. You know, dude. Guess what though? Guess what we forgot? The what's wrong with y'all? We're gonna do it at the end here because y'all got so work ethic. We've kind of dug in and really got to the crux of that. But there's two things that happened this week that I was like, what the hell? Right. This is really happening. So I saw this thing on social media and I sent it to Coach earlier about a bill that's being trying to pass in Ohio, right? I think it was Ohio.
It was Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to say that if this bill passes, that women will have the right to sue a man if they have an unintended pregnancy.
What the man?
I mean, let me say that again. The woman will have a right to sue the man for an unintended pregnancy.
And then I say,
this isn't suing a man for child support.
I know.
If the kid gets there, this is I got pregnant. As soon as I get pregnant, I'm suing you because I had an unintended pregnancy.
Because we got
it's your fault.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Once again,
you know. And so we were talking earlier about is that what's crazier, that or the thing we talked about earlier, where you could sue you could sue somebody
for having sex
with a married person.
Yeah.
That
you can sue the person that's having sex with your partner.
And right. So that's one thing. That's what's wrong with y'all. And then this morning, I'm driving to the hospital bright and early.
Right.
And I'm crossing, you know that street, Little Santa Monica and Wilshire, kind of crossing right there.
Mm-hmm.
So light is green. I'm going through the light. This woman is on the other side of the street with her dog, just decides I'm going to jog across Santa Monica to cross the street.
Not Little Santa Monica, Santa Monica?
Where that crosswalk is, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to run across the street and I'm coming up Santa Monica. I'm just going to jog. Light's green. I'm going through the green light and she just decides to start running across the street when I get in the intersection. And I see her. So as she's getting close to me, I blow the horn. She stops, flips me off, and keeps walking with her dog till she crosses the street. Yes, y'all, it's got nothing to do with work ethic.
I had to leave that dramatic pause in there because it was just like, what?
That's got nothing to do with work ethic.
Yeah.
It's got everything to do with entitlement, which we talked about.
Right.
You know, but I was like, just because I'm in Beverly Hills doesn't mean you get to do what you want to do. And flipped me off, and I had windows up. She's mouthing off saying something because I blew the horn at her. I'm like, you're in the middle of the intersection.
Now,
you know?
see, what would happen is if you had slightly veered to the right and scared her even more, Then she would have been calling the police.
Or if I would have slammed on brakes, but I saw her coming, so I just kind of slowed down, and she just kept running. Like she was jogging with her dog, and decided I'm just not going to stop.
Yeah.
Light green doesn't matter.
It may not be work ethics, but her code of ethics.
She's just ethically shitty.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't see me. I blew the horn so you
she's not a
could.
good human
But
being.
then flipped me off, and I could see that she was cursing me out. And I was just like, if I roll down the window and she sees what I look like, or I jump out the car, then I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm the dude in cuffs.
Yeah, because
Right.
through your front windshield, you can barely see.
Yeah.
So,
But the funny thing is, this is why road rage happens. You don't know. What if I was some crazy deranged dude who you just happened to catch me at the wrong time,
right.
and then now
Which
you're laying on the side of the street.
And these days, it's been happening a
Yeah,
lot.
it could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, man, it just I needed to get that off my chest. Normally we give you guys the what's wrong with y'all at the beginning of the show, but we wanted to get to the meat of this
That was
topic
amazing.
today. And I was
That
like,
was amazing.
I was like, I gotta get this in.
I needed that one.
Right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I wanna run
man.
everybody over.
Anyway, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. It was definitely a blast for us. And man, let's close this thing out. Let's get out of here.
Bye.
I'm done with y'all.
Bye.
Coach, man, where they gonna find you, man?
Coach KJ Knows with an S. Coach KJ Knows on Instagram and CoachKJ.com. Where they gonna find you, Doc?
Man, you're gonna find me at Leonel Leonel Hunt on Instagram, huntspine.com. Go to podcastsoe.com. You'll find everything Coach and Doc.
Podcast SOE.
You know, you'll be able to find the sip of the day. You'll have the
Oh, yeah.
ingredients. You're gonna have all that stuff. We got these videos coming out for everybody soon.
YouTube.
Stepping that game up, y'all.
We trying to be strong.
Strong like bull.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all, and we out.